there's something happening that I'm noticing in the political sphere that's very concerning to me. And it's that a lot of young men, specifically in the Gen Z category, are shifting towards the right. Some women too, but mostly men who are not going to college anymore. They are adopting all kinds of religious mindsets like Christianity. I mean, very loosely speaking, they're attaching to this kind of Jesus loves you kind of thing. We're seeing more young men adopt anti-LGBT rhetoric, anti-trans, anti-woman rhetoric, anti-vegan. They're adopting all these kinds of rebellious attitudes, and there's a few underlying reasons why. This is no surprise that when you're uneducated, you're led to people like Shapiro and Peterson, people like that. Nick Fuentes, for example. When you're uneducated, you shift towards people who just spit out things that sound good to you. And that's what the right does the best. They just regurgitate things that sound cool. What's the principles amongst the right now, especially in the young mindset? Manly, masculine, strong, powerful, right? Underlying this is also finances. A lot of young people feel like they don't have any financial control of their lives. So they look up to people like Trump, wealthy people who are rich, who are also, in combination with that, wealthy, manly. They exhibit these kinds of masculine traits, not giving a crap about what people tell you, right? Being strong and yeah, no matter what the cost is to the social implications to that. What's also happening here is that the ever-growing complexity of issues surrounding young people is ever obscure to them. And the left offers a very narrow aperture or opening to the right understanding their positions. It's not that the left doesn't understand, although some of the people on the left just don't understand the issues very well. But the left, what do? They always scold the people on the right. Oh, you're a Trump supporter, you're bad, you're crazy. Every time you say something negative to the Trump supporter or the people on the right, you alienate them, okay? You alienate them, further polarizing them. And you're making it worse and worse, harder and harder for them to ever come back to the left. See? Now, the same applies to the right. The right has been doing this for forever, okay? But the point is that the left is losing a battle that we can easily win if we just stop being so dang abrasive relative to people on the right. And the left is letting this happen to themselves, even though they are correct on the majority of issues. I mean, take a look at my last video about the transgender topic, and every comment in opposition is not a scientific criticism at all. The people on the right don't know how to perform a scientific analysis or scientific criticisms. So even though the right is wrong on the majority of issues that they believe in, the left is letting people slide away to the right because we think that if we tolerate the right to any degree, if we exhibit any kind of friendship with the right, we feel as if we're letting them get away with a win. When that's not the case. In fact, that couldn't be further from the truth. The more you befriend, or at least act as a friend to the right, is the more you tolerate who they are, and calmly and efficiently express to them why they're incorrect, and efficiently explain to them your positions. That's an L for them, okay? That's an L for them. It's a major W for the left if we just did that, okay? But we don't, for some reason, want to do that. And I go on TikTok a lot, and I watch those political debates, and almost every single time, the host on the left is degrading, calling people names, calling Trump supporters all kinds of ridiculous things, making them look silly. That doesn't help, although it helps to rile up the left and make people on the left go, yeah, get them. That doesn't do anything for us. That doesn't help us in the long run. That's the problem. Today, social media is configured in a way that it allows you to be an echo chamber It allows you to create this gigantic echo chamber where you just suck in everybody who agrees with you and completely alienate anybody who disagrees with you. That's the problem. And people on the left are letting this happen. And the right too. This is happening on the right too. But the point is that the left is losing a battle that we could easily win if we just became a little bit more or less toxic. Because look, the left is right on the vast majority of issues. We're right. It's just the problem is that we don't feel like we have an identity. We don't offer an identity to people on the right, like the right does, to some degree, offer an identity, right? The identity is be strong, be manly, be rich. That's what the right offers. That's the kind of role models that they cling to. What does the left have? We don't have any identity. That's the problem. People are seeking and are hungry for identity. And we have to offer that to people on the right and everybody. Because look, the issues that surround us today are becoming complicated. They're becoming harder and harder. They're not the issues that we had 100 years ago. They're vastly more complicated because our understanding has increased since 100 years ago, and hence the issues are becoming more complicated. So we must offer a pathway for people to grasp the ever complicated issues that surround us. But the left is utterly failing in this regard right now. We don't offer any kind of identity for people. We don't offer any kind of role models. We don't offer any kind of place where people can, or at least a pathway for understanding of these complicated issues. We don't offer any of that stuff. We just scold our opponents wherever we can to make them look bad, and that doesn't do anything for us. It doesn't help us gain any traction. People on the right, especially young men, are getting lost in the obscurity of the very complicated issues that surround us today. I mean, there's a reason why people are so anti-trans and anti-LGBT. It's not because they're just bigots, because they're hateful inherently. It's because they're lost in the obscurity. They don't understand the issues. Ignorance breeds a kind of hate and bigotry. It's ignorance that's the problem, and the left can easily solve this, but they're letting the right get lost in the obscurity, further alienating people. The same applies to the anti-vegan rhetoric. Why are people so anti-vegan? It's because they don't understand the vegan position. Oh, you think we should consider animals? That's ridiculous. We've been doing this for all billions of years. It's a sense that people want to maintain the status quo. They don't want the complexity to continue. They want to make things simple. They don't want to think about the complicated issues. We have to make people understand that it is important, it is critical for us to adapt to the new understanding of the world. And this is what science teaches, and that's why I preach science all the time, because science is a way of disciplining your mind into adapting to new ideas. And this is something that the left needs to really hone in on. A scientific perspective. And this is why I talk about it all the time, because it is a very keen source of a kind of message that can teach these great things, these great principles. And the consequences of continued inaction are immense, especially in the next 3-4 years, where AI begins to control our lives. AI is power. When you have an AI agent that can take away jobs and do all kinds of things, who do you want controlling that? The right people. You want Alex Jones kinds of people? You want Trump controlling AI? You want Trump controlling AI regulation? Do you really want these kinds of people who don't know a damn thing about science controlling some of the most technologically advanced technology ever created? I don't think so. It's very dangerous territory we're entering if people on the left continue berating and doing all these ridiculous things. Now, I don't mean that the right is innocent here. No, the right is even worse. But I don't care about the right because they're just wrong in everything. What I'm saying is the left, I still have some hope left for the left. And that's why I make these videos, because it's concerning to me. And I don't think anybody understands this yet. I don't think people really grasp this yet on the left. And I'm just trying to express my feelings on this and my concerns. So, thank you.